Yes, sir. Okay, so check this out, right? So, as you guys know, if I haven't made it clear already, I do not like social media. I don't like it with a passion, bro. Social media is just ruining so much stuff, and I feel like people are just going wild on it. I already talked about the school dress code. People need to quit glazing everything like everything is just perfect. People celebrating people's deaths is absolutely insane. And today is going to be something that I'm really passionate about. I love sports, okay? I love sports. Mainly football, obviously, because I played it, and basketball because I play a lot of 2K and I played a bit of that too. And you know, in sports, there's always going to be something going on, and you know, the media absolutely loves to push a narrative that absolutely isn't there, and it annoys the crap out of me. Like, why are we doing this? I'm telling you, man, these people, man, these reporters and these other people, bro, they have nothing else better to do. I'm telling you, bro. They'll sit here and ask these guys like stupid questions, then they wonder why they didn't get the answer to the question. Cause you asking something you know they're not gonna get that, you ain't gonna get the answer to. Do better. You know what I'm saying? They just do it anyways, just to get, I guess, to get more report and all that. I don't know. Let's talk about football. First thing, I'm pretty sure we already know about this is this has been happening since the draft, and I just hate it, man. Shadur Sanders, quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, has been getting absolutely disrespected ever since he first came into the NFL, man. I don't know what it is, bro, but the media, it tried so hard to push this guy down that I'm sitting here wondering what's the reason behind, what are we doing? You know, going back to the draft, right? This guy was projected to be a first round draft pick or somewhere in between, right? If you watch his games in college, bro, Shadur Sanders was one of the best quarterbacks to play. You know what I'm saying? I think he was one of the most accurate quarterbacks, especially considering he had a terrible offensive line. His running backs weren't really that good. You know, it was pretty much just Shadur Sanders throwing the ball. It sucks that they did make. I would have loved to see them in a college football playoff before they went, but you know it just didn't happen that way. It is what it is. But either way, it set something up special. You know, Travis Hunter, we knew he was gonna be a first round draft pick. You know, maybe Shadur Sanders, maybe he could be that too. But instead, all of a sudden, this guy went from a first round pick all of a sudden to being a fifth round pick. How? And I'll tell you how. Because for some reason, the media, or I should say anonymous sources, because let's be real, we know who these anonymous sources are. They just don't want to come out and say it. All of a sudden, anonymous sources want to come out and say, "Oh, Shadur Sanders, he just didn't have the, he just didn't want to put in the effort. He just doesn't have the work ethic." You know what I'm saying? Like he did an interview and everybody said it was trash. He's trash. Like, huh? Keep in mind, by the way, nobody was saying this. Nobody was saying, there was discussions, but nobody was sitting here being like, okay, look, okay, this is what we're gonna do. Okay, truth be told, Shadur Sanders, he had a good interview, but I don't want to be the one to draft this guy. So I'm just gonna leave it to the other team. Let's go to the Falcons. Which, by the way, how the hell did the Falcons, one of the coach's sons, get a hold of this guy's number? What are we doing? As a Falcons fan, that's disrespectful, but that's besides the point. But look, like now this guy is dealing in a bad situation in Cleveland, and it's like, bro, Cleveland is just a terrible organization, bro. They traded for Deshaun Watson. You know, happy birthday to him. I think he's finally older. He's more older now than the amount of stuff he got going on. That's disrespectful. I can't say that, bro. But hey, man, that's what we hear. We just joking, bro. We joking. I highly doubt he's gonna watch the video, anyways. But heck, you know what I'm saying? Deshaun Watson, the dude's still injured, getting his money, man. Joe Flacco is garbage. Dillian Gabriel, who knows if this guy's ever gonna get a start or not? Maybe he's gonna be starting after Shadur. Like Shadur's like the fourth string quarterback, bro. So it's like the situation they put this guy in is just horrible. And what makes it even worse, Cleveland could have had both of these guys. They could have had Shadur and Travis Hunter. So they low key would have been set, bro. But no, it's like Cleveland is Cleveland. My name is Cleveland Brown, and I am proud to be. Like, come on, what are we doing? I'm telling you, bro, this crap, this sucks, man. Then on top of that, just to talk about Travis Hunter a little bit too. Like, man, everybody has just been flaming this guy for what's going on with him, off the field, bro. And honestly, I can't help but feel a little bad. Do I think he put himself in the best situation? Absolutely not. I obviously there's gonna be people that say, he could have went about it a better way. But I'm not gonna sit here. I'm not gonna sit here not the guy, bro. If he genuinely loves her, bro, who are we to tell him that he should leave her? They're already like engaged, I think, or something like that, bro. It's too late. It's too late. Let him make his decisions, bro. You guys are not his bodyguards. You're not his agent. Stop. You guys acting like you can tell the guy what to do. He's a grown man. Shut it up. They just want to try to advocate for everybody, bro. You're not their agent. You're not. But anyways, man, just to, you know what I'm saying? Because you see the point, bro. Just to briefly talk about college football a bit, won't dwell on it too much, but the AP poll is absolutely stupid, bro. If you've seen the AP poll, you know what I'm talking about. There's so many things I want to get, but I'm just going to point out the few key points, main three that I see. Number one, why is Penn State and LSU ranked that high? Last time I checked, they didn't play anybody. They haven't played anybody yet, bro. LSU, bro, the LSU defense made DJ Lagway throw 5 interceptions, and they still only won by 10? How? I don't care if the guy's playing off of an injury, bro. If you make the quarterback throw 5 interceptions and you only score 20 points, what does that tell me? This team might not be as good as we think it is, bro. And Georgia, who just beat a top team, pretty much stays right where they are. Huh? What are we doing? Number two, why is Illinois ranked this high? I know they were like preseason poll, one of them favorites and all that other stuff. They haven't played anybody, bro. Who have they played? And then number three, the obvious one, bro. How the hell is Notre Dame still ranked? How are they ranked? They're number 24, being 0-2. How, Sway? The only justification I can give for this is because they played 2 quality ranked opponents. It's the only reason I can think of this. But if that's what we're going off of, I just want to keep you guys to keep this in mind, okay? South Carolina lost 1 game and immediately jumped off the poll. Only lost 1 game, got kicked off the polls. Clemson got beat, got kicked off the polls. But Notre Dame gets to stay in 0-2. I'm just saying. If we gonna be picking and choosing, Notre Dame should have been out of here. But sure, whatever. USC number 25, 3-0. They're right behind. Like, come on. Stop the nonsense, bro. And, like, not even just football, obviously, man. NBA, just to talk about it. Like, this is pretty much dang near every year, too, bro. Every time the MVP race gets down to the wire, the media is going to try to find some way to push a narrative that simply either isn't there or they're dying to push for. Perfect example. Look at Joel Embiid, bro. Joel Embiid is one of my favorite players in the NBA when he plays. But that's the problem. This guy barely plays now, bro. I think it's getting to a point. He has almost more games missed than games played. What are we doing? And yet this guy's still getting paid all the big bucks. I get it. He's an amazing player, bro. But when is the last time this guy's played over 60 games in an NBA season? Minus playoffs. And then, like, everybody with this Jokic and the SGA race, when, SGA won the MVP. Honestly, I think SGA should have won this year. But I wouldn't have been mad if Jokic would have won a 4th. I don't think anybody really got robbed. I said the same thing last year. I don't think anybody really got robbed of MVP. You know what I'm saying? Because you can make a case for Jokic, SGA, and Luka. You know what I'm saying? You could have made a case for all of them. So it's not like necessarily like they're getting robbed or anything like that. It's just a matter of, that's the point of the MVP race when it comes down to the bottom line, bro. Even if we want to go back, when the Russell Westbrook versus James Harden race back in 2016-17, everybody was vying for James Harden to win. But because Russell Westbrook averaged a historic triple-double and led his team to the playoffs, losing Kevin Durant, they gave him the MVP. And, a lot of people consider that as very controversial because his team was a 6th seed. Keep that in mind. So, and this was before the play-in, too. All of that was just going on, and people were just like, I don't know if Russell Westbrook should have won MVP. I mean, like I say, you can make a case for both. I wouldn't have been mad either way. But, Westbrook winning it was just a perfect, story to like perfect ending story. You know what I'm saying? Like Cody Rhodes, whoa, finish the story, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, bro, it was just a great way to end the season and all that. But you know, obviously, everybody's gonna have different opinions and all that. And just to be let this be the last thing I talk about because this is something I really don't like about the NBA and football too. But my issue is when people want to pick and choose when to glaze certain players and downgrade other players. We can't do that, bro. We cannot do that. SGA, I remember SGA played amazing in game 1 of the finals. They ended up losing this game, but it definitely wasn't because of SGA. Could he have hit that shot in the last, that last shot he missed? Absolutely, he could have hit that shot, bro. But how about we talk about the defense that got steamrolled in that fourth quarter? But no, we want to talk about SGA missing that shot, though. I'm just saying. We didn't talk about J-Dub getting cooked that game. Chet was getting destroyed. But nah, SGA missed that shot, though. Like, come on, man. Jason Tatum will sit here and have an amazing game, but then people will be like, oh, he's supposed to. Well, it's Jason Tatum. If he's one of the greatest, he's supposed to do that. He's supposed to do that. How about you do that? Exactly. Who do you think you are? You think you're Kevin Durant? LeBron? No, you're not.
Stop it.
I get you know what? I get it, bro. When we hold players up to higher standards, I agree. If we hold players up to higher standards like we know they are, like LeBron, Kevin Durant, you know what I'm saying? Giannis, just to name a few, I get that. We hold these guys to high standards. But if we're going to call out these guys for when they play bad, why are we not calling out players like Gary Trent Jr. when he had all those turnovers? Why are we not calling off playoff P or way off P for when he plays horrible? But no. It's always the superstar's fault, though. Austin Reeves playing absolute garbage, getting cooked against the Timberwolves. But no. It's Luka's fault, though. It's LeBron's fault. Stop. I'm all for criticizing players when they play bad. Absolutely, bro. But we can't be picking and choosing who all of a sudden he's playing good and he's playing bad. Like, come on, bro. You need to figure out. You need to figure that out, all right? You know what I'm saying? Quit glazing certain players and call the game like it is, all right? You guys watching this video, the last part tomorrow, pretty much this is going to be a brief discussion about social media in general. Kind of going to tie in all the other videos too, but mainly just saying like, where my, my dislike for it came from and all that other stuff and introducing it. So be on the lookout for that. But yeah, that's all I got. Stay cool. Keep it classy. Peace.